let's talk more about that, but let's go back. You made a big deal out of this in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
We realized it was a big deal. We wrote articles about it at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. You did it cuttingthroughthematrix.com. Blood and Guardian reported on it. We got the whole 100-page report, the British Ministry of Defense program.
Yep.
And they said we're going to financially collapse it into 2010. We're going to have flash mobs, riots. And they talk about how we are the enemy. They talk about using nuclear weapons or the neutron bombs.
Yep.
If the people were to ever try to take back London or Ottawa or D.C., they will neutron bomb the population. And they just admit it. We're standing by with neutron bombs. They're public. We will kill you. And they say there's nothing you can do. We're going to poison you. We're going to sterilize you. And if you ever try to take a capital, we're going to neutron bomb you. I mean, this is, and then, so the cops, the military that serve this, and the bureaucrats, you're drinking deadly poison. You're being poisoned with GMO. Your sperm counts dropped 85%. You're becoming sterile. You're dying of cancer. And you will salute the government and take your 5-year-old that died of cancer and bury him, and then just salute the government. Thank you for killing my child. Thank you, New World Order. I like my petty psycho power, so I'm going to serve you straight to hell. Thank you. Yes, sir. I'm not strong enough to break my conditioning. I'm not strong enough to read where they say they'll neutron bomb us. I'm not strong enough to admit this is a psycho kill grid we're in. I'm going to submit. I love being a tyrant, so you go ahead and smash me.
Mm-hmm. And also that was followed, remember, from The Guardian and the Department of Defense for the UK and NATO, all NATO countries, followed immediately, well, a month later, by the United States military one, which was pretty well identical to the British one. So this is the world agenda, and they said the same thing will happen in the United States. So this all falls in again with Agenda 21, the agenda for the 21st century, which is the century for change, planned change, of course. And they're already starting to smash down a lot of the suburbs around the urban areas and Detroit and places like that. That's all part of the planning. Everyone's to get forced into the already overcrowded cities. And over the next 50 years.
They said, we'll get everybody dependent through the trilateral banking system, and then we're going to destroy half of the homes in the cities. And Detroit has announced they're going to destroy a third, and they're announcing massive new energy taxes, all designed to bankrupt us.
Yes, and also you see, we have to be managed for the next 50 years is to take the system down. And if you go into the Council on Foreign Relations' own website, you'll see that they've got think tanks in one of their sites, one of their links, full-time think tanks from the CFR on all topics and subjects. But one of them is on the coming food shortages. They've been working on this for over 15 years, the coming food.
Let's break down their agenda, their enemy operation, how it's going to unfold. And again, I'm going to pull up the name of that British Ministry of Defense report on the next 10 years. I believe that's the headline. We're going to get that during the break and put it up on screen. If not, call Watson. He'll know the name. We'll be right back. Almost exactly 3 years ago, in April of 2007, revolution, flash mobs, and brain chips, a grim vision of the future. The governments will use neutron bombs on us somewhere between 2015. They believe that with their computer models, their predictive systems tracking human movements, that there will be desperate attempts as people know they're being poisoned, as they're being killed, as they find out it's a eugenics model, people will attempt primitively to take the capitals. The capitals are facades. It's the big underground NORAD bases, the continuity government bases, Cheyenne Mountain, systems like that, systems out in Colorado Springs. But they will use neutron weapons on you. That's a nuke that doesn't destroy the cities. It just kills all life. It's a radiation burst weapon. They say you're going to have a brain chip to have a job, that people will have to accept it just to have a job. It's like, oh, it's free market. You don't have to be here, but you'll starve to death. They talk about flash mobs, how they're going to control us, their new world order, their world government. And you can read the 100-plus page report. They have a link to it in this article. And if it's not linked now, ask Watson. He can pull up the actual British Ministry of Defense report, U.S. government report. I mean, folks, I at a primitive level get excited and try to warn you. I mean, I'm a fellow human. I want freedom. I want to be happy. I want a good future. I want to build and work together and go to space. These control freaks don't. So Alan can calmly talk about it. He's a great guy. I mean, it's like we know these are mastermind criminals. We know what they're doing. We're not lying to you. And you need to check out what we're saying. And then no one in the government or the military or the police should serve these people. You're with us, the people, even if you think you're part of the system. Alan, isn't that the biggest trick? Is that people that serve the system feel like they're on the winning team?
It's a fact. It's also a technique and a science all in itself. It's called obedience to authority. The same technique they use in the military, you're part of the team, I'm too important to be discarded, that kind of stuff. And it's worked through the Soviet system, well tested, tried, lots of books written on it, obedience to authority. So, but what they don't realize is once, for instance, look at all the bureaucrats you have to take care of millions or billions of people. Once they've reduced the population, they won't need the bureaucrats, so they're next to go as well. You won't need all the cops out there or the military if you wipe out most of the planet. So what are they going? They won't keep you around as a pet, believe you me. These guys are all about economics and what seems to be appropriate at the time. And if they claim that you are eating up the resources that their future offspring, the elite's future offspring, will have for the next 1,000 years, they're going to get rid of you very quickly if they don't need you. Everyone is used in turn here. Every organization out there is used in turn. The communist organizations are all used in turn. The right-wingers as well. And they don't realize that they're all used in turn, all to serve and bring about the same agenda, which is simply the elite's survival. This goes back to the Darwinist philosophy. There's a whole philosophy to do with Darwinism, to do with eugenics, survival of the fittest. And whereas we can talk about psychopaths as being almost alien to our mentality from us, because they have no empathy for other people. They're very cunning. They're like cameras that watch and study you, emulate you, and are very good con men. But they feel nothing for you. Well, in the Darwinist philosophy, they are the natural successors to take over and rule the world and keep it for themselves. They believe that they are the most advanced predators on the planet, and they're not ashamed of being predators. They think that's a natural order. So predators who are ruthless will always survive. And that's what they discuss at the top think tanks.
And we can't recognize them because, maybe 1 out of 100 people is a psychopath, maybe 5 out of 100 is a sociopath, but they're conditioning the public to artificially create psychopaths and sociopaths. And it's come out in government documents. Most of the chemical and biological testing where they kill our own troops and people isn't to test the chemicals or biologicals. It's to test their scientists to see who enjoys killing people, who believes in justifies the means, to take them as seeders to then create larger cadres.